I've been eyeing Ark Survival Ascended for a while now, but there's still so many things that are just making me not want to get it. First of all, the price point being $45. I'm pretty sure it was higher whenever it first came out, whenever I first wanted it. And I was like, no, I'm going to wait, but I don't think it's going to get much lower than 45 until Ark 2 comes out, which is another thing that really, really annoys me. Ark 2 is supposed to be late 2024. Now it just says to be announced. Kind of annoying, but, you know, whatever, things happen. Doesn't really bother me. I'm excited for Arc 2. I'm probably going to buy Arc 2 whenever it comes out. But Ascended just feels like a kick in the face. Like, it's 45 bucks. It's still an early access game. So if it's still early access, then that means that Arc 2 is probably not going to be out for a long time. And they're probably just going to ride out Ark Survival Ascended. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay looks really stunning. I've seen a lot of gameplay of it. I watch a lot of videos of it. Like, I genuinely kind of want to buy the game, but at the same time, I don't. One, because of the price point being $45. I know that there's new maps, there's new dinos, there's stuff that's all redesigned and everything. It all looks really good. But I'm still playing Evolved because of the fact that, I have all the DLC for Evolved and everything like that. I got it gifted to me. So I only paid 25 bucks for the DLC. And that's all the money I have into Evolve. That's it. But now it's kind of annoying because 60 bucks for Ark and Bob's bundle, which Bob's Tall Tales looks kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't think it'd be worth it for me to buy it because it just kind of looks like Borderlands in Ark, which to me is kind of weird. But I mean, you still get the free maps: Scorched Earth, the Center, and Aberration. And I do believe what else do we have there? Extinction, yeah. So you have Extinction and a few of the maps that are already on there. But this right here, this was what really like sent me over the edge of like, I will probably never buy this game, and if I do buy this game, I am never going to be buying these. I can understand mostly negative reviews, mixed. I can understand if Wildcard kind of needs money. Like, okay, it's something happened, they spent much more money on Arc 2 or something that they couldn't afford, to keep going. That's why it got pushed back. Ark Survival Ascended came out. Now they're putting money and time into it, but $5 for a single tame? Really? It's I don't understand. Like, if it's an entire expansion pack, like if you look at Bob's Tall Tales, I was looking a little bit at it last night. There's a ton of stuff that you get with Bob's Tall Tales. For 30 bucks, it seems kind of cool. New creatures, like there's literally a baby jumping spider that you can swing like webs on. That's cool. That's a really cool addition. New creatures, companions, you get this like there's what I've seen, there's three different kind of expansion packs in one. New vehicle, the new weapons and everything. You get the steampunk, and then like everything just looks kind of cool on it. You get like a Wild West type theme, and then what else was there? Oh yeah, there was a Borderlands type theme. So it's like it all looks kind of cool. It looks like that'd be a good expansion pack. But if they're putting money and time into this, that means Arc 2 is going to be pushed way back. And I think I'd be okay with Ascended if they didn't release it as a completely brand new game. Like I said, I'm pretty sure when it first came out, I don't remember correctly or not, but I believe it was more than 40 bucks. I'm pretty sure it was like 60 or something like that. And I was like, or 70. And I was like, there's no way I was paying that. Because, like I said, I'm still playing Evolved. I am perfectly fine with still playing Evolved. Somebody asked me why I'm still playing the old Ark. Well, this is why. Like, I don't want to sit here and spend $45 and then $29 more dollars and then $60 for both of them and then pay $5 for a tame and then pay $5 for another tame. Like, why is it $5 for one tame? I could understand like these expansion packs. This being 30 bucks for three whole new expansion packs in one, I can understand that. Like, I'd be okay with paying that. But $5 for one tame. I just can't get over that. Like $5 for literally one tame. I seen a video on it and it was like, oh, this is the newest mount, it's the Pyromane, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, that actually kind of looks badass. And then literally in the video, it was like, get your wallet out because this is a premium tame. And I immediately, like, my jaw dropped because I was just wondering how. If you're going to put premium tames in the game, essentially making it pay to win, if the tame, I haven't done a lot of research into them, so I don't know if both of these tames are if they're overpowered, but they look like they're pretty useful. Like you literally have like it looks like there's so much utility in both of them. The Dreadmare literally looks like it could be an extremely fast flying mount due to the fact that it's a horse with wings, but it also looks like it could do a lot of damage. Like it's literally sitting there fighting in the scene. And then the Pyromane looks like it just looks terrifying. Like you see that coming at you, you're gonna be like, "Oh God, what have I done?" But I, if it was like $5 for like a few of them, maybe like 5 tames or something like that, to where it was like $1 per tame or something. Again, I could kind of understand. There's ways that it could have been done better, but it seems like it's just a really desperate money grab, and it's just confusing to me. If people are buying the Pyromane and the Dreadmar, however you want to pronounce it, I mean, it would be good content, brand new game, brand new mounts, showing them how it's done, how to tame them, all the stuff that it can do. But for somebody like me that's like on the fence about spending money on the game in general or about buying the game in general or something, I'm not going to want to spend $5 for one mount unless it's something very specific that it doesn't benefit you a lot in like PvP or something. But at the same time, let's say like you got Bob's Tall Tales and or there's something else in the game where it's like, oh, the Pyromane can thrive in this environment. So if you wanted to build a base in this environment, it's recommended to have a Pyromane because that would be the best thing or whatever. Like something that would benefit you something, but not have an edge over other players would be kind of okay. But if I'm spending $5 on something, like I just bought literally just bought all the rest of the Ark Survival Evolved expansion packs for $24. All the paid DLCs in one for $24. I haven't had them up until like a month ago, which is kind of sad because the game's 10 years old. But I just bought them a month ago because I was like, there's no reason for me to buy them. I was having fun, like my buddy and I just basically played on the free maps. I was having fun, but then we joined a cluster a little while ago, and I was like, I want all the other maps, I want all the DLCs and everything else, blah blah blah. But it's kind of sad because I've been eyeing Ark Survival Ascended for a long time. I really want the game. It looks like a beautiful game. Like it looks like there's much more content. It looks, it just looks a lot better than Evolved. It runs a lot smoother than Evolved does. But my problem just being like the price point of $45 and then the $5 a piece tames. I don't know why I can't wrap my head around it other than if it's literally just a cash grab. Like if you're going to release a bunch of premium tames for $5 and if you look at the Steam reviews on them, how many do we got? So that's 213 no. 223. No, yeah, no. I can't do math right now. 230, yeah, that'd be like 223 something like that. 200 and some mixed reviews on that. Well, yeah, mixed and mixed. And then we go to the Pyromane. I mean, these are just people that reviewed it as well. Like these aren't, every single one of the people that have bought it. These are the people that just went to review it. The Pyromane's mostly negative. Pay to win for PvP is fine for PvE. You snail games. So yeah, pay to win for PvP. I understand you need to make money, but a paid team that's already in the game you simply can't access without paying money is ridiculous. Plus, this thing has been nerfed to be a fraction of the former glory upon release. You released a paid only tame that was so broken you literally pay to win. The tame was already in the game and you just couldn't interact with it unless you paid money. See, like that's what I do not want, what I do not like, that I don't understand. There's only 27 mixed reviews, but then mostly negative. Just from those couple that I read, they introduced it, it was broken for PvP, and then they nerfed it, and then now it's just completely junk. And if you bought it, you just basically got screwed out of a good PvP team. So, I mean, it's they had the exact same thoughts that it's a pay to win tame, that it's ridiculous that it's already in the game, but you have to pay to have access to it. It would be different if it was like an entire expansion map. Like I said, I just bought the not Ascended. I just bought the Evolved expansion packs. They were literally like $4.99 a piece for the whole map because the game's 10 years old. Ascended's been out for over a year now. So it's been a while, but everything's cheap, so I bought it. I just can't. I couldn't wrap my head around it whenever I started looking into the Pyroman because that was the first one that I seen. And then I seen that there's premium tames, and I immediately just thought there's no way I could justify spending that much money. $5 for one tame. I just don't get it. Like the Dreadmare just came out a couple months ago, and what are the reviews on it? Pay to unlock dinos is just horrific. Fantastic tames would be fine for a DLC of multiple creatures that would be expanded throughout updates, just like I said. Bought DLC, buy yet another game breaker clearly that makes more interested in just making more things for us to buy rather than fixing the myriad of bugs already in the game. Exactly. Everybody in the community is sharing the exact same opinions. We've had the exact same opinions since Evolved. Evolved had so many bugs, it had so many glitches, it had so many issues. I just encountered one last night. But they never fixed any. They didn't fix any of the big issues. I've watched a bunch of Ark Survival Ascended streamers. I've watched a bunch of videos. I've watched a lot of content on it, and they're still saying it still has a bunch of the same bugs that Evolved has. That they basically just threw all the Evolved coding into Ascended, flipped it over to Unreal Engine 5 so it looks better, and tweaked some stuff, and that's basically it. Like they added some new content and everything like that, but if it's got all the same bugs, it's got almost all the same dinos, and it's got all this stuff to it. It's basically Ark Survival Evolved with better graphics. So why am I paying $45 for it? Why am I paying $30 for another expansion pack? Why am I paying $5 per dino? Give it like a pack. Make it like a whole, like you can unlock an entire arena or something. Make it $5, $10. Make it so there's like 20, 30 tames in there that are, spread out all over the place, and then make that the entire reason of buying that expansion pack. Or do something that's worth it. Not, oh yeah, there's just this one tame that happens to be there that I have to pay $5 to even get. And then whenever I do pay $5 for it, it's going to be nerfed to the ground and then it's going to be useless. I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, I've only played 1,000 hours in Ark Survival Evolved, but probably at least 150 that's been over the last month. I've been playing a lot lately, which is why I've been wanting to get into Ark Survival Ascended. But I just can't justify it. Like, it's been over a year and it still hasn't done anything that has impressed me to the point to where it's like, wow, I really need to get that. Like, they changed, they fixed all the stuff. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Like, they're all doing the same things. It's it's just ridiculous the fact that, and it says it's still early access. Well, how long is it going to be early access? I mean, they give you, the big paragraph in here and everything. We're expecting to be early access till the end of 2024. So it's January 12th right now. According to them, early access is going to be over, very soon, or it should have already been over. But they are going to add the following content remade in Unreal Engine 5. They're still going to add, they've already added Aberration and Extinction. They're going to add the Survival of the Fittest, Scorched Earth, Genesis, and Genesis. I think it said that, I don't think Scorched Earth was already out yet, was it? Oh, I lied. Scorched Earth is already out. But they're still going to add Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. So they still have to add those. But yet again, that begs the question, if you're literally just copy-pasting them from Ark Survival Evolved, yes, there's going to be different things. Yes, they're going to be tweaked a little bit. Yes, there's going to be different content inside them and everything. But I don't know why you wouldn't just remake them. And I don't mean remake as in like, oh, change the way Scorched Earth looks, change the way Aberration looks. Like, you should have just changed the entire game at that point. I mean, I know people still love Ark Survival Evolved, and like, they're most of the reason people are buying it is because it's evolved, but it's updated. People really wanted an update to Evolve. They wanted bugs fixed. They wanted better graphics. They wanted a lot of this stuff. But just because it looks better doesn't mean that, oh, it's a brand new game. This is revolutionary. Everybody's going to rebuy it. Because you get people like me that are asking the questions. I've dealt with these bugs for so long, and so many times they've happened to me, and so many things that just, those little things when you're playing, it's like, Ark, why are you doing this? Ark, what the hell? Ark, what are you doing? Ark, what are you doing? and they don't fix them. It's like you keep taking your car to the mechanic with the same issue, and they replace this part, they replace this part, they replace this part, but it doesn't fix the issue. You're gonna stop going to that mechanic. You're either gonna do it yourself or gonna be like, hey, I need to go somewhere else. I need to do something else. Clearly, this isn't working. But that's what Wildcard's doing. I don't understand why. If they legitimately would have taken the bugs that were in Evolved, fixed those bugs, figured out how to fix them, rework something, or like like they were supposed to make Arc 2, which is being postponed, and it's fine it's being postponed because like I said, if they're working on Ascended or they ran out of money, I don't know what the issue was, but if they're postponing Arc 2, then they should give us something that people are like, okay, yeah, this is okay that Arc 2 is being postponed. Like Survival Ascended could have been evolved, but 100% bug free, or like it could have been the game to play throughout this entire time. It could have been like an extraordinarily excellent game, no bug. Well, I can't say no bugs because that's nearly impossible with as much stuff as in the game, but minimal bugs, extremely good community support, extremely good game support to where it's like, oh no, we found a game breaking bugs. It happened to somebody. We should look into it. But they didn't do that. All they did was ignore a bunch of the bugs. They put in new graphics, they put new maps, they put a little bit new content, and it seems like they're just ignoring all the bugs again. I've seen so many things of content yet again that there's just this issue and this issue and this bug and that bug, and it still does the same that Ark Survival Evolved did, and this still happens and that still happens. And I was watching a video, there was a guy in Ascended, he was breeding Rexes, and as a lot of people do still for bossing and all that stuff. Well, he had like 4 or 5 baby Rexes laid out, and he was taking care of them and everything. Well, he came back the next day after he hatched them on his ground, and just like in Ark Survival Evolved, I deal with it every single day. They get stuck in the foundation. Whenever they grow up, unless they're moving around or unless you pick them up with a bug or something, they get stuck in the foundation. Or unless you soul trap or cryopod them, I just soul trap them, throw them back out, move them out. But I literally was watching videos of somebody trying to breed them, and they're like, okay, they hatch 4 or 5 Rex eggs at a time. They move the Rexes over, they lined them up, did whatever. Well, then they came back the next day, and 2 of the Rexes were just gone. So then they checked the tribe logs and everything, or I think it's still called tribe logs, but basically just said the Rexes were killed, that they starved to death. And the guy was just wondering what happened. Well, then he was sitting there, moving the other Rexes and everything. Green thing popped up. Dead Rex body inside the foundation. Dead Rex body inside the foundation. They just fell through the map and died. I just ran into an issue on Evolve that I was using my teleporter with my Desmodus, and it literally just teleported through the ground. Like, it was at the bear cave on Fjordor, the bear loot cave. I have a teleporter right behind the artifact, up where the 3 statues are, of the Brood Mother, the dragon, and the Megapithecus. Or not Megapithecus, the monkey. I set him right behind me. I teleported like I always do, and then he was in my base. I was like, okay, that was weird. It kind of moved him over, so I just left him there, teleported back, and then boom, it just glitched him onto the map. I can still go there. I can still see, his name. I can call him and everything, but I can't get him out. And now I'm seeing the exact same thing with Ark Survival Ascended. But it begs the question, why would I pay $45 and then $30 and then $5 and then $5 just to have the same issues that I'm having in a game that I already own? Granted, Scorched Earth is free. Aberration is free. Like all the base maps are free so far, which is nice. I don't know about Genesis or anything like that, but if they are still free, that would be kind of nice because again, you're paying $45 for basically a better graphical Evolved. But I still just can't wrap my head around it that this is what we're paying for. This is what it's come to. This is why a lot of people share the same opinions that I've shared, but unfortunately they already bought the game, they already spent the money on the tames, they already bought everything. And 60,000 mixed reviews are definitely not good. 59% of the reviews of this game are positive. That still means that 41% are negative. Granted, it's not overwhelmingly negative, But I do not like. Let's see what some of the positive ones are. Other than needing a new beefy computer for this puppy, my only gripe is the insane amount of foliage that they have added. So that's just talking about the computer not being, not being, good enough. I guess good game. I love punishing my PC. It's being made naughty by playing ASA. Not happy. Instead of the update the old game, they made a new one. Sharing the same opinion with me. I realize it's because of the engine the old one was made on. I also highly ticked that you have to pay extra $40 to have the extra dinos and storyline on the base maps. However, saying that new graphics, even though it took 1K in money to get a new system to handle it, so everybody's like they're complimenting the graphics, which again the game does look a lot better than Ark Survival Evolved. The engine probably runs it a lot smoother. It works a lot better. It runs a lot better, but problem being that it also probably is a really big download. It's gonna be like Ark Survival Evolved is like 450 gigabytes, and that's with all the DLCs and everything. I can imagine what Ascended is, unless they actually optimized it. I don't I don't see how it could be any smaller than that. I don't think the maps would be any less gigabytes. I don't think the game would be any less gigabytes. But even a couple people right there said that their computers are being punished just by playing the game because the minimum specs I can't imagine are Ryzen 5 2600, AMD 5600. So it's not horrible, but that's minimum. I've played on minimum on Ark Survival Evolved and it was not fun. The recommended Ryzen 5 3600, i5 1060. So you have to have a decent computer as the recommended, but it says 70 gigabytes of available space. I don't think it's that small. And again, I haven't downloaded it, but I've been thinking about all that stuff for a long time. Oh, scotches. And I don't know how everybody else feels, but that's me. I'm still debating on getting the game. If it goes down to like $30, I probably would, like drops a little lower, but I can't imagine it's going to go any lower than what it is right now. Unfortunately, at some point, I might just have to spend the money, or I can literally just keep playing Evolved until R2 comes out. Unless R2 is announced soon that it's going to be like another year or two that it's going to be coming out, and it's going to have to wait a long time. At that point, I might buy Ascended just to have the updated game, get better content and stuff like that. But that's how I feel. I don't know how everybody else feels. I see a lot of negative comments, and the only positive ones I've seen are the fact that the game looks a lot better and it runs a lot smoother. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll not be early access soon. Hopefully we'll get news on Arc 2 soon. Hopefully it will be fully released. They'll have Genesis 1 and 2 out and I can get full reviews on it. I can see all the bugs. I can see what I'm working with if I do end up buying the game. But guess we'll see what happens.